What's going on, everybody? The Rel, the Whiskey Saint. We are back on another Wednesday, guys. Shooting a quick video, and it's going to be a nice one. It's probably going to be the last time I actually touch this bottle for a bit. This may go down as my favorite whiskey of 2024, guys. This thing is an absolute banger. Going to keep you in suspense for a little bit, but stick with me. We're going to talk through this, have one more pour, and probably put this away into the end of the year. Cheers, everybody. Welcome back, guys. And I'm like pretty excited to kind of dive back into it. You're going to see the amount of liquid missing. And it wasn't all for me, guys. I have shared this because it's been that good. But like I said, this is probably going to be the last time I actually pour this until the end of the year. If you've been following the channel for a bit, you know, we like to put a little bracket together at the end of the year with like our favorite whiskeys and kind of do a March Madness style to see what reigns supreme. And I want to say, I think this is going to be up there with every bottle that I've had. Actually, it already is up there with every bottle that I've had so far this year. But be curious to see if it kind of ranks that high with Kelsey once he has it. I know Jeff has a sample and he's going to dive back into it. He had tried it, enjoyed it a lot. But curious to see how it actually scores for him as well. Guys, what we're going to be talking about is a barrel. It's unfortunately a single barrel, so I know it's going to be a little tough for everybody to get. Like some of these are pretty much sold out, but they have similar barrels with similar age statements. Maybe not this specific barrel, but I've heard everything that they put out at this age, which is 11 and a half years from New England Barrel Company, has been absolutely fantastic. We've been talking it up as a channel for a while with 2024 being like year of the rye. Like some of these ryes that MGP is putting out, man, these 10, 11 and a half year old ryes have just been incredible, guys. And this one does not miss. Normally you see me like, and me and Jeff put like the scorings and the rankings. Just know this is ranked pretty much above everything that I've had so far. I'm going to pour a little bit and look at the color on this, guys. Like, that is crazy. And the camera's not making it darker. It's literally that dark. Like, it's nuts. But yeah, 11 and a half year old MGP rye, 131.64 proof, guys. And I'm pretty much halfway through between sharing and just drinking it and trying not to drink it. We're going to pour a little bit in here. Give you guys like a quick, honest review of how good I like this or how much I like this. But yeah, I've been wanting to review this for a bit. I know it's kind of unfair being that it's a single barrel and it may not be, you know, attainable for everybody out there, but you know, I'm judging what I've tasted, right? You know, I can't help that it may not be available for everybody else, but out of everything that I've tasted so far this year, this is like right on top. For sure the best rye that I've had this year, and it's probably only 3 bottles that I'll say Booker's Rye for sure is better than this. I have 2 New Holland very, very short barreled young, like 5-year-old ryes that can compete with this. I would probably have to blind it to really know, but they scored almost as high, you know. But outside of the Bookers and those 2 ryes, this is the best rye I've ever had. This thing is absolutely incredible. But we're going to dive in on the nose, guys. Cheers to you all. Yeah, so right up front, you're getting a ton of oak, wet oak. It's dense, it's rich, it's heavy. Spice, not much rye spice, though. Like, this could be a little deceiving. Like, you wouldn't immediately lean towards rye right on the nose. It's just so dark. Chocolate, vanilla, the spice. And it's more cinnamon spice versus actual rye spice up front. But such rich, heavy oak. Like, there's no denying that this has some age to it. Man. Towards the back, you do get a little bit of like that citrus punch that you kind of get off some ryes. a little citrusy. And that's more on the lines too of like what you get on MGP rye. Like you get like that maybe orange peel, citrus note. You tend to get this, which you normally don't get, or I normally don't get too much on a rye from MGP. But you do get it on here, and I don't know if you can see that, but just look, I barely even swirl this, and it's just sticking to the glass. Like it's nuts. You see those legs? Cheers, everybody. Let's go in for a sip. Oh man. So I do remember the first time I've had this or tried it. First sip was fantastic. Every subsequent sip just got better and better. Like that first sip lit me up. It's still sticking to the front and sides of my tongue and my cheeks right now. Like it's just literally, it just seems like I still have the liquid in my mouth. And if you didn't hear my voice just change all of a sudden, like it's creating so much like saliva buildup. It kind of sounds nasty, but it does that to your mouth. Like it just saturates it, and oh my god, it makes you salivate. I'm gonna take another sip. This is just crazy whiskey, guys. Yeah, so front mid is just kind of like how the nose is, guys. Super rich, dense oak. Literally, you can like. It seems like you like. Just say you took an ice cream scoop and like scoop the inside of the wet wood, and just imagine like kind of like nosing that and just tasting how like saturated the actual liquid is. That's how this is. It's not like drinking wood by any means, but it's just so saturated in flavor and just oak, but not overly oaked by any means, guys. Like this is just like the perfect balance. It's God, it's very close to like a perfect whiskey, guys. Like this thing is nuts. And the crazy thing is like the value of this, it's 11 and a half year old. It was only $114, right? Like you're seeing some companies with 10-year plus MGP rye and they want 150, $200, sometimes even more, right? For this bottle to be 114 and be this good is just crazy, crazy. Like this was like a bottle that you would buy and back it up infinitely. Like that's how good it is. Like I'll continue to share this probably after our tournament at the end of the year, but I would like for a few other people to really get the chance to try this. Like this is it's like a goat tier whiskey, man. Like this is like unicorn status. You can hide this in like whatever the best of the best rye bottles are, and like it's gonna blow people away. Just the kind of name and the label, like not too many people are familiar with New England Barrel Company, but we all know MGP, right? So when we know something has like a high age that's sourced from them, we tend to kind of disregard what brand it's coming from typically, but they've been known to put out some banger battles in the past. Let's take another sip. Yeah, it's just so sticky. So sticky. Like, look at that. Literally running the whole length of the glass. It's crazy. But yeah, all front, mid, sticking to the sides of my tongue, my cheeks. You get all that oak, get that spice. Like I said, it's kind of deceiving though. It doesn't really come across as like a straight 95.5 rye, because it's usually like a little dill forward sometimes and like spearmint. Like you get all that ryeness typically in a 95.5, which you don't on this. Like I could probably honestly make a mistake and think it's a bourbon at some point. It's not super rye forward, which is nice. Like I don't mind that at all. It's just so different in terms of like taste profile, which rubs me the right way. I want something that's a little different. But yeah, this is like it doesn't get too much better than this, guys. Like I said, Book is rye, a couple New Hollands that we're like half the age, but probably just as good. But outside of that, like, this is some stellar whiskey. $114. Local store to me released them over here in Massachusetts. Guys, like I said, I will be sharing this, once the end of the year and our tournament's passed. I may throw some in a couple upcoming, Patreon giveaways that we do. So some of you can get a chance to try this, because I do think it's a bottle worth sharing. As good as it is, and as much as I would love another bottle and I probably can't get one, I think it's just that much better kind of giving you guys a chance to experience what I'm experiencing as well, right? I'm going to take one more sip, guys. Not going to save this. It's too good to waste. I just love everything about that. Full transparency, guys. Like, we normally do score our whiskeys. I did score this and honestly totally forgot that I did score it and went through the process again, right? So the first time when I end up going back and realizing I did, it scored a 93, which this year I believe there was only one other whiskey that scored that high. And when I went back to it, not knowing that I did score it the first time, it actually scored a 95. Like, the finish on this is just, it never ends, right? So you get hit with all the flavors up front. You get that oak, you get that spice. Like, every characteristic that you want in a really good whiskey is pretty much here, right? Then on top of it, to have, $115 value just kind of makes it that much better too. Could it have been cheaper? Potentially, but like 115, it's still a buy, and just continue to back them up if they're available. Like, you're not going to get much better than this, in all honesty. But yeah, guys, this thing scored a 93 the first time, a 95 for me. If we average the two, we're looking at 94, which I believe for sure is the highest scoring whiskey for me this year. And I know there's probably not going to be a rye that overtakes this. A close second was a Traverse City rye towards the back of me over here, the second bottle in, which I believe was a 91 at some point. But yeah, this takes king as of right now, and we shall see if something can overcome this, guys. But just wanted to showcase New England Barrel Company. I know many may not know about the company, but they are sourcing some really, really good stuff. Some not as good, but these barrels lately from them have been pretty crazy. And like I said, guys, I know it's a single barrel, but it's one of the best things that I've had this year, and I definitely wanted to kind of highlight them. But thank you for sticking with me so far, guys. YouTube's kind of not liking our little outro song right now, so we're just going to end it off on a normal note. No video on the end, and just thank you guys again for sticking with me. All right, cheers.